Oh, and I still need to email you the minutes I attempted to take. Well,
Do you have them chicken scratch or?
no, I typed them,
Okay.
but this, well, maybe I should wait till we're in to discuss. Well, maybe. No, I don't want to make it. I think I have.
Yeah, it is Joe.
But I think I have your email,
Yep.
probably. I'll send it tonight.
Joe. It's okay.
No, I have to, I'll just.
Okay. All right. All set? Okay, 7 o'clock. So I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So I made an agenda, so we'd have an agenda. We have roll call to know who's here. We have
Chris Prose,
Kimberly
present.
Burkhammer, Joe Marco.
can't prove it.
Be able to prove it. You're here. And Melissa, pronounce your last name.
Prunier.
Prunier. Okay, that's how I wanted to say it. Sometimes I just.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
You were gonna butcher it.
I wasn't sure.
Cut the R off.
Yeah. Prunier.
Yes.
Oh, well, can I jump in about the minutes?
Absolutely.
So I'll email you I think they were decent, but the formatting will need adjustment. And then this, yeah, I wasn't able to type, I don't know what necessary information is needed from this whole thing because it's, seems a little complicated.
Yep.
So,
We talked about
look it up.
the minutes that Melissa had written up at our meeting that you weren't here, and I think we were all good with them.
Yeah.
So I would entertain a motion to go ahead and approve these minutes.
I'll second the motion.
No, I've got to have a
I'll
motion.
make a motion.
I will second the motion.
All in favor?
Uh,
All right. So then we'll go ahead and sign them.
Still in. The first meeting when the light.
When the room is light. And then we have, the last candidate that I know for the planning board. Mr. Jim Morgan is here.
What you know about building and you
Joe, that's the minutes.
If you'll sign it.
Okay, all right.
So we'll get you at the very beginning and then you either say or you can continue on with your business. But welcome to the meeting and thank you for your interest.
Thank you.
Want to give us just a little brief overview of
Sure,
the qualifications? Yes.
sure. So I grew up in Manchester, by the Sea, Massachusetts, in high school, and wanted to start a business in 1980 at the age of 18. So the best state is New Hampshire because of the tax structure and the opportunities for employment over here. So in 1986, I started my first semiconductor company at the age of 20, sold that at the age of 40. That was my college education. And then I started another one at 42 because I really didn't particularly care to be in higher management of a $700 million company and have to treat people the way some of our corporations treat people. And as a capitalist, that hurts me to say that. There are better ways to treat your employees. And that's one of the reasons why my two companies were tremendously successful, because we realized how to put a team of people together, motivate that team, pay that team, and how to execute on some of the important defense items that we make and use for our boys and girls. So I did that. I started another, I left them, and I started another business in the same field. After my non-compete was up, and I grew that to about twice the size of the first one. And I was very fortunate enough to have a crazy bunch of investors come in 2021 and offer a ridiculous amount, and I took it. And at the time, I got divorced in 2007 from my best friend and my wife, and I met Paul in 2007, and 2007 beginning of 8, and we started a life together and been together ever since. So I have 2 children, a 31-year-old and a 28-year-old, who is very special, very interestingly opinionated. And my clash something terrible. It's my Republican-ness. So, and that works out for the family very well. It's an interesting dynamic. But I think that when you're faced with life-changing things and how you navigate through that and the relationships that you develop and how you interact with people, it's all kind of like a learning experience. I can tell you that from 2015, I ran for office in Derry. I was elected to town council. They have a council of 7, and I was chairman in my last year, and I was chairman in my other last year. So I was elected twice. I served for 6 years, and our budget in Derry was $48 million. When I left, it was around $55 million, but it also includes our capital reserve funds that we spend, so it's not included in the overall tax rate. But we operate under a tax cap, on the town side in there. So having to manage with in the first, well, really the whole 6 years, we were managing without the inflationary discretion we have today. So the metric that's used kept our budget somewhere south of 2%. And we had to negotiate union contracts, and we had to pay our people, and we had to pay rising costs through the pandemic, all on a 2% tax cap, which we were able to navigate very well. And during that process, I was able to attract and hire one of the best town managers in New Hampshire, a guy by the name of Dave Karen, who is now Derry's longest standing town manager. It's coming up on 7 years. They went through 14 town managers in the 20 years that they had had a council. They just could never get that cohesion done. And council had served the last 6 years, put a pretty good team together. And we culminated all of those efforts through planning. But we culminated all of those efforts with a brand new $19 million fire station that cost the taxpayers 25 cents because of the way we budgeted and managed and financed that all the way through. About 25 cents per thousand tax rate. Now, we have a $3.5 billion tax basis down there, so it's a much different than Croydon. And the way that you conduct yourself politically in a very toxic environment that Derry is known for is a lot different than you do in Croydon. So, what I see here for opportunity is a little procedural and a little policy and a little more organization. And I think that the challenge in this community is maintaining what everyone's here for, which is, and just to be honest, a lot of people are here for the tax rate because it's one of the lowest in the state. The challenge is you have municipal pressures, you have school district pressures that cause these inflammatory things to happen. And that when you have things that happen like that, it derails the ability to manage your finances stability. And when you have knee-jerk reactions to those budgets, like what happened last year with the school district, what attempted to happen this year with the school district, those knee-jerk reactions derail people's thought processes because in the world of politics, everybody's always worried about who's standing behind them. Well, in a town of 800 people, we're all neighbors and friends, and whether we get along with each other all the time or not, at the end of the day, if we can't manage this, then how's 365 million people going to manage it? So the reality is, we don't need to get upset, and we just need to manage it, right? And we need to recognize that we have a lot of valuable open space in Croydon that if we don't protect, you could be faced with not having the right policies and right ordinances and the right procedures, not because you're trying to be difficult and not because you don't want people to be able to do what they want on their land. But what you do have to do is you have to recognize the fact that for every 3, 4, 5 bedroom house that gets built, there's a potential in 5 or 10 years the population will change. More people will have kids. And because you have an attractive tax rate, that is a funnel to come here. And people don't realize that, okay, I paid $12.70 or $12.22 or $14.22 this year. Now it's $14.72, and then it's $15.22, and then it's $16. And before you know it, it's like, okay, taxes in the last decade have gone up, $5 or $6 a thousand, and people don't notice it until it gets to that level. And what controls the tax rate more than anything is you folks, because you guys control the ability to tell the select board, hey, we should do this because of this, and then you all agree on it. So I think that this is a super important position and a super important board, and I think the 10-year, your master plan really needs to, because I don't think any of us has thought of half the things that you would think, 10 years from now. And those things are really good to have. So that's good.
You missed what we were talking about before the meeting, so he's gone through this before in Derry, updating a master plan.
I don't understand what he's got in building and development, so,
Yeah.
That's all you'll see. Not building anything else.
Okay, so a couple of the questions I've asked the other candidates, if you got on the board, would you commit to at least a year? Okay. And if we were able to offer you just an alternate, would you take an alternate's
Yeah,
position?
whatever you guys need. I'm literally a 5-minute drive away, so if you need an alternate to show up, that's not a problem. But yeah, it irrelevant.
And then, so my question for you, because I know that you'll be able to be neutral and recuse yourself if necessary for anything that might involve you in what you might.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I have no other development plans in town of Croydon, just to be clear.
Okay. No other. Okay.
Nor am I involved with anyone that does. Because I know we have a
Yes, thank you.
property over here we're all a little bit concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got papers on it. I haven't seen them yet.
they're here.
Yes, I saw them. I saw the stack. I didn't
Okay.
go any further.
Any questions for Mr. Morgan?
No, I mean, I think you pretty much explained, it seemed like a lot of your experiences would be fall under more like select board. But I guess towards the end, it seemed like it tied into your intention for planning board, unless there's anything you want to add about.
Yeah, so the way the council works in my business community, they have a lot of connection with the planning board as well, because we put a massive push on economic development. So councils were involved with planning, they were involved and very much involved in master plan creation, which is a big planning creation. You're absolutely right when you say, do I know the planning saves no one, we'll learn that together with all of us. Do I know, I looked at the rules online tonight at the state. So that's probably about as far along as you are, Chris. So, but I think together, there's nothing that we can't work through.
Anyone else? Okay.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get out of here.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Oh, he's staying, he's just moving over there.
Okay, so then next on our agenda, Dominic DiMaggio. We need to offer the select board our approval, if we approve, for him to become a member of the zoning board. This was actually on my agenda at our last meeting, but I let it slip. So, do you have any objection to him becoming a member of the zoning board? He's, very good and knowledgeable, and I think he'd be a very good member of the zoning board. We just,
I make a motion, we get him appointed.
Can you, I'm not sure exactly where the zoning board is in terms of membership versus like full, how many do they have and how many are they supposed to? 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5?
Well, I haven't been there for full membership as far as the meetings and everything, but they need the same as us. They need 5 and 10 alternates.
no, they
They
need another
currently
member.
have,
They need one more.
That's what I thought
One
they
and
more full member.
Amy is the member from the,
She's the
Okay.
actual.
and then Brenda. and-
But
Brenda,
that's probably gonna change.
Chris is the secretary, Jason, Bruce. Yeah, so they need a full member. They
Alright.
need Dominic to be a full
And
member.
then I'm guessing, I think maybe I saw the video, but I'm assuming he went to their meeting to express his interest. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, because he came
He wrote a
here.
letter to
Yeah.
the select.
And,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, he came here, gave us a letter and everything. We told him to see them. They checked him out and gave it to us.
yeah, and they came to the select board meeting
Right.
and asked for their approval. Dominic could not be here tonight. He's having a medical procedure. But he did ask that, we, make our approval if that was something everybody could
Not a
agree on.
problem. I
You
make a
made the
motion.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I can't take it to the organizational meeting, but I will take it to the next full select board.
Right.
And
Okay.
then in terms of the candidates for planning board, were you going to discuss at a next meeting? Or-
You won't be there at the next
Yeah, I
meeting,
know.
so we need
We'll do it
to,
when he gets back.
when you get back, we'll make another
Well,
working.
I'll just be trapped in my house
Yeah.
with the kids. I'm not going.
Um,
But yeah,
We'll be in
okay.
another world.
Just a special
So
meeting or
when you
whatever.
get
Yeah, we'll just pull together another working meeting that will
Yeah.
just discuss the candidates, and because we want to get a full board going and
Yeah.
get everybody on board and have a meeting and swear everybody in and get going on this. Okay,
So yeah, even that following Wednesday should be fine. Whatever that would be. April 8th or I believe.
I will put together some dates and email everybody. April. Candidacy. Okay. Okay, so then we have the Croydon subdivision. Let me get,
Yeah, so this is the one I have in the notes from last week or last month that I probably don't have all the information about. What exactly it is, but sure you can show.
yeah, I have the large one. So I reached out to in Sunapee. And his concern was going to be, are they going to allow them to develop off of the emergency lane down here?
Seems,
I'm against the whole thing because when I look at the tax map, like if I go get the tax map right now for this property, it's 7.9 acres. So when I looked at that tax map, that's a precedent because somebody down the road can say, well, you left these guys, split them up less than 3.5.
Yep.
So I'm absolutely against it. I need no further discussion on my point of view because that's it, period.
Yeah,
You
the,
guys,
Trying
so
to
it's
look,
up to you guys.
trying to look at my notes.
Because I just looked at the tax map to see what our property card shows. It just shows this part and that acreage. So we'll be creating 3 properties with less than 3.5. If that's not precedent, I don't know what is.
it is. The only access that they have is right,
And that's existingly there. That's there now.
it's there now. They could come up. But it would be one lot. It would not be these 2 lots.
Right.
They could make a lot in Sunapee, but this lot and this deed and this map all state that it was
Right.
supposed to be part and parcel of the land in Sunapee and be one lot of record.
Right.
Is that, this is the deed?
This is
Oh.
the map when they first did the annexation. And I apologize,
No, it's
but this is all you can get.
Yeah.
It's so small, so I blew it up. And the deed,
So, and it also says the purpose has area to be in current use,
right,
which that would also be jeopardized, right?
yep. Well, this
Well-
land was in current use. I can't find any current use recordation for any of it right now. I don't know if it was taken out because this land in Sunapee was not in current use. So when it was annexed, did we get a land use change tax? I haven't been able to find that in my research yet.
And this was when? Looks like, do you know when this was? When it was annexed or whatever?
2002.
Just trying to.
Yeah, so pursuant to the approval of the Croydon Planning Board, the above described tract is to be annexed to land in Sunapee and is to be considered one combined single lot of record. The missing sentence is, and not to be further subdivided.
In terms of that would be typical,
Well,
but it's just, you mean missing in that you
yeah,
would expect that, but it's not there.
when we do the mergers now, we put in there the languages that they're to be combined,
Mhm.
one lot of record and no further subdivision is allowed. Especially this one where it crosses the town line. That's what's so
Right.
awful.
So do you
That's the
think
most
you'd be,
important.
I mean, even if they, in theory, so say they came back and said, okay, we're gonna, I guess it would add up, this, you know, to basically do like 2, so these would be 3.5 connected, that would still probably run afoul of what,
Well, then you got the easement into the other property.
yeah. I mean, it's a whole,
Yeah,
so no matter what, I guess that, and that is not even,
right.
and that's all hypothetical.
And
And see, and they're under Sunapee's regulations with the 1.5 acres, so they
Yeah.
really don't have to complain. Sunapee, they have no complaints.
yeah, they can do these 2 lots without doing anything here.
Right.
They do not have to touch the land. And Ms. Horner, throughout all of her time of owning that, subdivided land in Sunapee
Yeah, that's what I,
3 times, and she never touched the land in Croydon.
Right.
well, and plus we, well, and they haven't even, I mean, it hasn't even gotten to the point where the people in these abutting lots
No,
would
no.
be in,
I mean,
but that's another unknown.
yeah, they're pretty much looking for pre-approval from us. I mean, Sunapee's no problem. They'll give them anything they want. As long as they're within their regulations, which is 1.5 acres. And they are.
And this is, so I see they split these 3, but then, I mean, this, currently, it's basically, you know, what the outline is here, correct?
She has one of it, but it is now.
Yeah, it's like,
It gets
it
confusing.
would be good for them to bring like.
It gets
the before and
confusing when you
after.
get all this on.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is what it used to look like. She subdivided, then she added more land to it. So
Okay,
then she put the house up there.
yeah. And so right now it's like this house and it kind of comes down and it's also this blob because these are,
Yeah. So this is what she had.
Yeah.
And then she bought the land in Sunapee. So this is her, I mean, in Croydon.
Yeah.
This is her land in Sunapee, and then she bought the land in Croydon.
Okay.
So it's just up to us how we want to. Then we can just say, no, you can't subdivide the land in Croydon, and it has to go with lot 1 in Sunapee and stay with that land, which is what the intent was, but then he can still subdivide lot 2 and 3 in Sunapee because they have the 1.52 and the 1.5 acres.
That's fine, they can do that.
So he gets his 3
Right, he
subdivisions,
just doesn't get as much backland.
but then we don't have to worry about any additional subdivision.
Right,
That was my concern, what if they put in a second driveway? What if they decided they wanted to
well,
come out?
driveway serves 2 units, 2 properties. So they could, split it in half, use the driveway, but I think there'd be a variance there, so if I ain't mistaken, it's 4 feet. Just short of what's
But
needed.
we wouldn't be able to control that because all of
Because
the
it's in
access would
Sunapee.
come from
Right.
Sunapee.
Right. Yeah, because it's on the other side of the stone wall yet, the end, the road is.
In they were, I don't even remember what he said. It seemed like he hadn't really determined yet what their order was gonna be, because they didn't know when Sunapee's board was meeting, right?
No.
Yeah.
In terms of like, because when he came to the last meeting, they had not shown any of this to Sunapee yet. Or they had, but informally.
Yeah, the planner has been working with,
Okay,
and I reached out to,
Mike?
Mr. Gansby.
Yeah.
And told him that we were meeting tonight, that, it was a working meeting, he was welcome to come. And I will get our comments back to the planner in Sunapee.
Is this the owner?
no, that's the,
That's the
well, he's the
surveyor.
septic person.
He's the person who came and presented this.
Thank you.
So I'm more than happy to reach out to the planner in Sunapee and ask him some questions about the land in Croydon and just say, we would prefer that the land in Croydon be one lot that is annexed and stays annexed to lot 1 in Sunapee and
Yeah.
not further subdivided. And the owner, Mr. Crean, would still, according to Sunapee's regulations, be able to subdivide lot 2 and 3.
Yeah,
And that's up to you if you want to do it on your emergency road.
right,
But,
exactly.
from,
Because when I originally talked to him, when this first came down, I talked to Mike over there. He was more curious what we were gonna do. Because of the way the land was set.
well,
Yeah.
all I can do is reach out and see what he says.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even so with us getting, we're not losing anything tax wise or anything. I just look at what it's gonna cost them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter what, just wait to see, because what I foresee is them trying to maybe split in, 2, like I said, but there's no, I mean, we can't.
That's fine. It won't set a precedent. They'll have to set a permanent for a driveway to the second,
Mhm.
but it'll still be within our regulations of 3.5. That's all fine. And divided that way, we would actually get higher tax from it because we would have the development part, we would have the house, we would have the garage, the barn.
But I guess in terms of, I mean, what is the tax impact if this plan did go forward? Does it change at all?
No.
Or not really?
No, not really, because it's all backland. It's done at the same rate. and it's gonna be the same area. However, it sets a precedent going forward that other
Yeah.
people can do it, and through, no.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think that there's no, big thing that could
No,
help.
if they
the
come up with
town.
something that contains the 3.5 acres each, I'll listen again.
Alright.
Besides, that'll get the development over on our side.
And I don't want to see, again, it's not the 3.5 acres.
Right.
And I'm not in favor of having a back lot served by a common driveway,
Yeah, no, because otherwise,
especially off of.
because
an
otherwise it's
emergency road.
totally landlocked. Yeah, no,
And it's an emergency road, and I understand that's Sunapee, and that's
Yeah.
the Sunapee, but that also sets a precedent.
yeah, no. No, because it'll be their driveway, their regulations, no.
So let me,
Castle,
yeah,
even if they. do
Yeah, I
that.
would reach out and,
let me talk to him again, now that we've had a meeting and we all seem to be
Yeah,
headed in the same direction, and I will bring all of that back to you.
still. I don't need the large.
All right. So. Okay, and I will reach out. Okay.
Yeah, I saw this stuff in the mailbox, but I didn't look at it.
We have a driveway application for one of the forehand road lots.
wasn't there something in the minutes or something?
So that lot can't be built on without the selectmen saying that the people can have a building permit.
That's
and
not the
getting all
first
of-
one.
The only reason we can approve a building, a
Right, is
driveway
to have the
permit
building permit, so it has to go to the board.
is
first.
he's putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, it has to go to the board first. Yeah, this isn't the same one that's there. This
No,
is-
it's a new one. And
Yeah.
I appreciate him bringing it in and
Right,
doing
right,
the way
but
that
no,
he's
that has
doing
to,
that. But
yeah,
so we need to take this to the board, and
right,
we have to give them our recommendation for a building permit, and can he build on the lot? And then go with the driveway application.
Yeah, this doesn't really.
Well, we can't even send the road agent down there because the road agent doesn't take care of the road. It's Class 6 road.
So you're saying what's the process that they have to get first permission to potentially build on the
to
lot from the
potentially
select board?
build,
Yep.
yeah.
They have to record a hold harmless agreement before they can have a building permit.
Yeah, we have the class, right connected with the permit is Class 6 road permit.
And then the Board of Selectmen have to say that they will grant them the building permit once they have the agreement recorded. And then we can go ahead and make sure that they have the site distance and say that they can have a driveway permit.
Okay, now, is this like typical of what would be submitted, or there's gonna be more? I mean, this looks kind of,
It's typical that would be submitted, but we're gonna try and put a hold on any further development on 6's period.
Mhm.
You know, these aren't bad because they're right there. But like Ian's right now, it's pretty messed up getting back there. There's other 6's that are pretty bad, responsible for doing the maintenance. However, emergency vehicle gets back there, or the people get together and say, hey, the road's too messed up. We have to put a warrant out, get the bucks and fix it, you know?
okay.
And then we're responsible for maintaining it.
Right.
Going
And
forward,
that's all the tax dollars that
Yeah,
have to go
okay.
to take care of it. So if you buy on a Class 6 road, you buy a large lot, you can put a home on it, that's yours. We're not stopping you from doing it, but subdividing it and adding a
Yeah,
lot of
we're-
homes on it.
We're gonna stall it further. It's class six.
So someone, I guess, will talk to this person and say,
Well, it's gonna go to the select board first.
but I mean, they'll know that they should probably come and talk, I mean, pitch the plan or whatever.
He's gotta have an email or something on
Yeah.
there.
The board will.
There's a phone number.
Okay.
Seems to be all we got. Okay, so I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, it'll come back from the board. Either way.
All right, we need to update the driveway permit so that it has an email.
Yeah, I was curious when you said that. I didn't see one on there.
Nope, it's not on there.
Okay.
Are you gonna, or do you want me to call him and let him know that he's gotta go through the process?
I'll take it to him.
Joe's gonna handle the driveway permit.
I'm gonna go deliver it to this.
All right.
Do you know what the name was on that permit?
Armstrong. Armstrong? All right, Northwind Security Products sent us a preliminary plat. Sent me an email to ask me, oh, how do we go about this? I let them know we were having a working meeting tonight, but that we did not have a quorum for April. That we would discuss this and I would get back to her about when they'd be able to come in. First things first, while the business email is Karen Siemens, who I was speaking with, she is not the manager of the corporation, nor the person that we need to have
Or she
business
needs
with, or she needs to have something.
power of
from-
attorney for this case, for this
Absolutely.
situation.
So I will make that known. We need to know.
Yeah, that she's their agent.
The agent needs to come and do the presentation.
Right.
Just make sure that she knows that. That's on Lovren Hill.
Yeah.
And they own the property next to it.
Yeah.
And so it's up to the board if you want to take this minor subdivision for one lot and bring them in for a meeting in April if we can pull a quorum, or we push them off into May until we can get a regular meeting and pull a quorum. That's what I told her. I
So
didn't know.
it's just one thing like this now and they're trying to
Well,
cut.
this
I
is.
mean,
Yeah, they're trying to put this lot in there.
This just doesn't,
This is the
This is
whole
already
entire
there.
piece.
This is already there.
Lot one is already there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the lots now, the
yeah, I'm just.
house is there, everything's there.
Oh, okay, this is lot one, okay.
Everything's there. They're just subdividing the land around it now.
Okay, so the entire 95 acres is already there with a house on it. They're
Yes.
just taking 6.4 acres out
Around the house.
around the house.
Right.
And then they'll have the remainder of the 89 acres.
Right. With a lot of the road frontage, so that's not a problem. I do like that the major part is coming out in the village instead of being the 1.5,
Yes.
3 or 4 houses.
Yep,
So I like that.
yep. Yeah, the 700-foot village, and then the other part that they own is also, there's quite a bit in the village district.
Yeah, yeah, that's the worrisome part.
I mean, is there, these surrounding lots, is there like facility there or something? I don't,
Well, so this is a preliminary plat, and
Yeah.
so when they come in to give us the conceptual, this is when we ask them to give us more detail.
Okay.
Because I agree, there's not detail on this.
Right.
So when they come in for the conceptual, Chris, is when we say, okay, we need to
Right.
have lot numbers, we need to have the surrounding areas around it, we need to know, more of the frontage, the stone wall, whatever we're supposed to have, we asked for that. She just sent this, just to see where do we go from here.
Okay. You don't know offhand anything about this Northwind Security, though? I've never heard of it.
Northwind Security, he's the one that put the whole trail. The-
Well, I'm just interested
Andrews is-
because
Andrews is his name. Oh, yeah, I got this.
Yep,
what,
Andrew Edmonds.
it's
Andrew.
very vague.
Yeah, I thought he was related to the guy down at the airport, but he's not.
Yeah.
Because I know him.
He has 4 different companies and.
This one was 04?
Yeah.
04, I think, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I checked him out.
That's all I know. That's
Yeah.
all I was able to find out
Yeah.
quickly. That's for you.
So they would also probably want to know some information about what the plan is. I mean,
We
If it's
can determine, we can ask those questions. We
Yeah.
can't make a determination on this because of future, but we can
No, yeah.
ask,
Right,
if
if he has an idea, I mean, there's different things that can happen and stuff, but like I said, the fact that 6 acres is coming out of the village is really nice.
yeah, if all the.
See, in the village district, you can have 1.5 acres, so you could take 6 acres and split it nicely. So it worked out real well, just using one.
So I just need to get back to Karen and let her know that probably the next time we're gonna have a full board would be May. We're not gonna have a full board in April. We're not gonna have a meeting. So it will be the May meeting.
well, if we do,
Schedule the meeting in April instead of having it be the
well,
third,
that was my original question, but
instead of it being the third, I'm sorry, the
The
first Wednesday.
fifth. Yeah, the 5th, first Wednesday.
Right, can we have it be the second when we know he'll be back and that will just be our regularly scheduled meeting, it's just rescheduled.
So we are set up to have our meetings on the first Wednesday of the month. And so we have to have the meeting on the first Wednesday of the month. We can go ahead and have another meeting.
And we can't reschedule it based on knowing we won't have a quorum.
I mean, I showed up and just sat here
Right,
myself.
right.
Is the first, the one that's the first of the month is, the first Wednesday of the month is set by the RSA.
Okay,
Thank you,
okay.
that's what I needed.
I mean, I'm fine to try, like I said, if you want to email or whatever, I'd be fine trying to do a different whatever day in April. If, if it's this and, maybe not the other things, but if or maybe you reach out and say if there was like other meeting that they attend. Cause it sounds like if they weren't gonna come, there wouldn't really be much to do.
So I would like to, and I'm fine, we can have another meeting. I'm more than happy to meet. But I would like to get a board in first, a full
Yeah.
board.
Absolutely.
That's what I would prefer.
Yeah.
But
Quite a range of decision.
Yeah, if you would prefer just to go ahead and get this done, I just think that Larry's not due back until May.
Yeah.
May?
Well, then
End
we
of May.
probably need to have the working meeting anyway.
Isn't it the end of May?
Yeah, end of May, so we wouldn't
Won't be here
have
till
Larry,
June.
so we won't have Larry until June. If we have a working meeting and get our board members, figure it and get them together and get them to the select board, then in May, we could have a full board.
Right.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
So.
Get out of the chair.
As soon as I cannot be the chairman.
I don't know. Well, he can't be the chair.
Uh-uh.
So, I mean, don't look at me. Okay, yeah, so that's whatever in April, it's just pretty much that one night.
Okay.
Um,
well, I've already got, making updates, probably the very next, we're going to have a meeting on the 5th. The ZBA cannot do a joint meeting,
Okay.
which is what I'm hoping we can do as a joint working meeting. Then I'm just gonna be here sitting at the table.
I'll bring cookies.
Okay.
But I mean, could they, I mean, I guess if it's just a, initial type of thing and there's not gonna be, could they, I mean, do they have to present it to like a quorum board?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, plus we have to see a lot more detail.
Yep.
If this is way too, it just gives us an idea to say yay or nay off the top.
Well, and again, I mean, we can tell them they may not be able to do that by 2 weeks or a week.
Yeah,
in advance anyway, right?
I told her,
Okay,
I told her we wouldn't have a quorum in April, so she knows it's probably not gonna be till May. But I can get her on the agenda first thing for May. I will look for dates.
I'm pretty good at Wednesdays, so.
Okay. So, somebody want to make a motion on this? To go ahead and table it until we can have a full quorum?
I make a motion, we table it till.
Okay. I will second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, so this is what it is.
Okay. That. Oh, one other thing. This is easy.
Oh,
Planning board stuff. There's a planning board and zoning board conference. It's free if you want to give up a Saturday.
okay,
This is what it is.
okay.
If you don't want to give up your Saturday, you don't have to register for it, but you go to the OSI and they're going to tape it and you can watch it on YouTube at another time, but check it out. You also.
I got it.
Long session.
Yes, it's an all-day
I'll
thing.
see, yeah.
The-
I
the
mean, if
only
I can,
thing-
I'll try to go.
What you miss if you don't attend the session, you miss the question and answers.
Yeah.
And the networking from all the other people, which is wonderful to have. But I know that sometimes it's just difficult to give up a Saturday, especially when it's April and it could be a very nice day.
Yeah,
got
I'll see,
anything else?
but thank you for the.
You got anything?
No, I had a somewhat related to this, but I've seen some, maybe it's not specific to this, but someone emailed me some stuff from like New Hampshire Municipal that they have various events. And I didn't know if that's like where members, could you just sign up for it and go if you so choose, or?
It depends. Some of these seminars that they have still have a fee
Okay,
and everything. We do have an amount set aside that as long as everything goes good on the hearings and stuff, we won't come close to spend.
well, no, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so if I see
Yeah.
stuff through there and I mean, I can see
Let
it.
the
as
board
fees.
know and if the chair thinks it's worth it, she'll notify us. Go ahead, get you registered.
Okay.
If there's things that you can attend that work out, then yeah, knowledge is great, education is great.
Yeah,
And that email that I sent you this morning had a list of classes.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, I emailed you back.
I did see that.
Okay.
So you already received that email.
Mhm.
Is that something that you'll share with them as appropriate, or should I include them?
Send it out, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the listserv, so I get all of that. And we bounce off. That's another one where we just bounce ideas off of everybody. It's fantastic, so.
So Chris, I'm gonna need, I probably have your email, but I'm gonna need your email. And I forwarded you something select board related.
Okay.
Just make sure I sent it to the right email,
okay,
because I know you have two.
yeah.
So if you didn't get something from the select board email, let me know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh.
Anything else planning?
Password for that thing, 'cause I tried
Wait a
to do
minute,
it.
you're being recorded. No passwords.
Huh?
recorded, no
No, I
problem.
didn't say.
No, he said write it down.
All right. Anything else?
You make a motion?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Good. All right, thanks, guys. I really
Same.
appreciate you coming out for this working meeting. I'm glad we could get it done. Melissa, thank you for doing.
Okay, so you want it for the email?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, someone forgot I just-
It needs to get a better folder.
He threw me out 3 times and said, if you do it again, we'll blow up.
I'll beat you if you, blow it up.
Well, no, that's what's scary. Because before you.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
That's fine.
Slightly dyslexic, so don't mind me.
Yeah, that's it, because he had me on 11/22, 11 March. What he had me on. And I think he got it down.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'm trying to take care of it.
So I've been going in there
You
as
have.
well, and I thought that's what that's tomorrow.
Is this staying set up?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
staying.
I'm hopeful that we discuss.
Well, there's a few things we got, that's what we need to do with the organization, some of
We'll
it's
let you
been
know.
discussed, so